Alright, so good morning everybody. If we look at the standard that we're going to demonstrate an understanding of the impact of world events on South Carolina and the United States from 1929 to present. So that's what we're looking at. World events. But specifically today, we are going to be looking at what is called the Great Depression. Our essential question: what did global conflicts and economic struggles, how did global conflicts and economic struggles impact South Carolina in the early 20th century? What's a conflict, anybody? Quickly, what's a conflict?
Problem.
Can be a disagreement, anybody else? Somebody said something, anybody else?
A problem within a certain
Problem, argument and issue. Alright, so we're looking at how did any of these conflicts or economic struggles impact South Carolina in the early 20th century. And the economic struggle that we're going to be focusing on really is what we call the Great Depression. Alright? So quickly, grab your all iPad or computer quickly. We're going to do a quiz it live. I'm going to display the code. There's the code on the board. Come on, don't waste your time. Let's go. There's the code. Quizlet Live, not quizzes, Quizlet Live. There are just a few terms that are associated with the topic that we're going to do, the Great Depression. So I want to see how familiar we are with some of these terms, what you already know. Alright? Quizlet Live. Alright, Dre, I'm seeing you. Dre has joined. Alright, I'm gonna start.
No.
You're on?
No.
Let me see the hands up, those are not on. You're not on. Alright, I feel you. Go ahead and get on. If not, you might have to work with the person who's beside you. Alright, you guys see a little emoji. The emoji, can I get the goat? You get that emoji. Alright, can I go ahead and create now? Alright, Taylor, join with someone.
She said join somebody.
Join with somebody. Good. Alright, let's start. Let me see how many of these words you know. Work with you. You on? Oh yeah, I'm reading. Come on, Lamar, we're waiting on that. Alright, so I'm seeing the foxes out in the front. All the way out in the front. Who is foxes? Okay.
That's me.
Say, so nobody going to challenge a fox? Nobody going to challenge a fox? No challenge?
It'd be crazy if he get it wrong, go all the way back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you won. Alright. Come on, Very good. So tell me some of the words that you have noticed so far.
The flourishing.
Huh? Hold on, don't shout. Huh? Collateral. Good. Industry. Any other?
Prosperity.
Prosperity.
Depression.
Huh? Depression. Any other?
Immigrant.
Yes, the Ku Klux Klan, because we're going to find out as we go later on in the Great Depression that this group returned and was really creating some problems again. Any other word? Immigrant. Good, because after a while some people start migrating. Any other word? Huh? Deplorable. Yes, deplorable. That's a word that we saw here. Alright, so what am I learning today? Can I ask Cody, can you tell us what we're learning today?
We will be learning how the Great Depression impact.
What's on the board?
Today I am learning the Great Depression and its impacts.
The Great Depression and its impacts. Alright, so that I can, somebody tell us so that I can.
Describe how South Carolina
Everybody understand what that means? So we're learning today about the Great Depression and its impact, so that we can, we're able at the end of the day to describe how South Carolina and the United States were impacted by this Great Depression. Somebody else continue?
I can effectively participate in role plays on the impact of the Great Depression and write a summary.
Alright, so at the end of this class, that is what we're expected to do. We should be participating in some role plays and do that effectively to show the impact of the Great Depression. And in addition to that, we should be able to write a summary. We good? Is there anybody who is not clear as to what the expectations are or what our objectives are for today? Anybody who is not clear? Alright, so can I ask Kason, can you tell us what we're going to be doing today and at the end of it what we should be learning? Thank you. Alright. So quickly, what's a depression? Anybody? What's a depression? When you hear the word depression, what comes to your mind? Yes, darling.
Act of sadness.
Huh?
Act of sadness.
He says it's an act of sadness. A state of sadness. Good. Tikai is saying you're miserable. Anybody else? Going through a sad state.
Down on your luck.
Huh?
Down on your luck.
Down on your luck. I like that little one. Down on your luck.
Hard times.
Hard times. So when we are looking at the depression, all the words given so far are correct. We are talking about hardship, hard times. So the Great Depression, therefore, was that period in the United States where the country experienced one of the hardest and the longest state of hardship, where its economy was concerned. But this depression did not just affect United States. The depression affects several other countries in Latin America, sections of the Caribbean. It also affected countries in Europe. So don't think about the Great Depression as just something that happened here in the United States, but other countries were also impacted. So this brings us to the next question. What brought about this Great Depression? What caused this Great Depression? So I'm going to be asking Hunter to come. He's going to introduce our first play. Go ahead, Hunter, we're waiting on you.
two news reporters from Shamrock.
All right. So before the persons come on to do their little play, I want you to listen carefully to what they have to say. Listen to possible causes of this Great Depression, and if they might mention any form of impact that this depression would have on the country. And so at the end of their presentation, you should be able to tell me some of these causes that you might have identified and the ways in which the country was impacted. Everyone is clear? So we all know what we're looking for? All right, thank you. Turn that up, please.
Good morning, lovely folks out there. How are y'all doing? My name is Robert, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host Diana. And today we're going to be talking about how did the Great Depression affect families and other people in this country and nation. But before we talk about what the Great Depression is, we will now go to some of the causes of this Great Depression. Some of the causes are people lost their homes, families were homeless, families were unfortunate to get these items, and farmers lost their land.
Some of the effects of the Great Depression was that families have lost countless of dollars due to the stock market crashing in 1929. Kids are unable to go to school because now they have to work to provide for all their families. Farmers have lost a lot of their land and the textile industry is shutting down. Some things that we can do to stop this is that we can start saving up our money to buy food. I heard some soup stores are open and they are selling food for only 25 cents. We can also start using torches as a good light source. So make sure to stay safe and have a great day.
All right. So, having looked at that presentation from your classmates, can I get some of the possible causes of this depression? You let me hear Miss Morgan has to say. Okay.
All my children are gone.
Okay, good.
So,
Give her a seat. Anybody give the teacher a seat?
no, it's all right.
Give her a seat and give that young lady a
Come,
seat.
sit
All
down.
right. So quickly, what were some of the causes that you heard from that presentation? Farmers were losing their land. Anybody else? People were losing their houses. Yes? All right, listen to one of the things that she said. Hold on. What we're not going to do, we're not going to have this unnecessary talk. All right. So Taylor just made mention of the stock market crash. All right, that was one of the main causes of this Great Depression. This stock market crash took place in October of the year 1929. All right, this was when the stock market crash occurred, 1929 in October. And this was one of the main causes. Anybody else want to give me another reason before we go into other details?
They lost their jobs.
People are losing their jobs. Anything else you heard?
You said where?
Anything else you heard from the presentation? Huh?
They was homeless.
People were homeless. Anything else?
Lack of jobs.
People didn't have any food.
Lack of jobs.
A lot of families were large families.
Market crash.
That's how I know you weren't listening. You weren't listening, Zakara, because that was the first thing Taylor said. There was a stock market crash. All right. Anybody who probably would have done any research, can you tell me anything, any other details about the stock market crash that took place?
The textile industry.
Huh?
The textile industry.
About the stock market crash. That's what I'm at. Zakari, pay attention. because I don't think you're paying attention. Listen to the questions I'm asking. Talk about, yes, he's gonna talk about the stock market crash. Alright, Kay said he's saying something, but I can't hear and I'm right in front of him. So I'm gonna ask him to talk so we can all hear. Alright, so he's saying that companies began losing their shares. Anybody else want to talk about the stock market crash? Yes, darling.
Because so many people were moving out, they all lost their money in it.
So a lot of people were pulling out. But by the way, is any of you do anything in stock market? Any of you do anything, any form of shares in any company? Any of you? Nobody? Oh, that's a shame.
Mr. Johnson do that with Apple.
Huh? Oh, with Apple, good. Because my son does it with Coca-Cola. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I do. I have Weeble. So I had a lot of them. Yeah, I got Roblox, got Apple, got
A whole lot.
yeah, it's a lot.
And like we say about stocks is that it's a risky business, by the way. You can go up today and you can go down. So it is something that is risky. You just have to study to see which of them is most consistent and you try to stick with that one. Alright, thank you so much. Did you have any impact from that presentation? Any impact? No impact? Go ahead.
Alright, so because kids have to work, they can't go to school.
Alright, so because some of these kids, so you have to pull them because of how bad the economy was, parents were losing their jobs. You start pulling the kids to work, and so if you start pulling them to work now, education is going to be impacted. Excellent. Alright, Hunter, your turn. That's okay.
Scene 2. Scene 2. The dad comes home from losing his job and they make discussion of the depression.
Alright, so then again, we are going to listen carefully because the aim is to learn from each of these activities. I want you to listen carefully to see what is happening in this family. How is this family trying to cope in this Great Depression? What are some of the measures that this family is putting in place to cope with this Great Depression?
Honey, I'm home.
How was your day at work?
Well, now that I got off early, I got fired from my job.
What? You got fired from your job?
What's all that noise?
I got fired, everybody got fired.
You got fired?
Look, this is what happened. The whole business, they just shut down. They fired everybody.
How are we gonna survive? Times are hard.
What's she saying?
Y'all know we saved up some money. Y'all know we got like $5, so we're gonna try to see where that takes us. We gotta discuss this with the whole family. So, like, kids, get in. So look, like, I lost my job. So, like, we're gonna have to do something to get some money up in the house. Somebody gotta get a job.
Everybody gotta get a
Everybody.
job. I ain't get a
job.
Well, if y'all wanna survive, y'all wanna eat.
And if y'all wanna stay up under my roof, y'all gonna have to listen to my roof.
Well, I have a granddaughter who can bring us some money.
Alright.
I'll be right back.
Where does she
I'm
work?
gonna get her. She works in the textile industry.
Okay, Harold.
Meanwhile, I'll take two of y'all boys and gonna try to apply for a job in this factory while we cutting grass, getting this little scraps of money, alright?
I'm back.
I want you.
I'll just go babysit some kids and go clean houses and do housekeeping.
Nah, since you the youngest, you gonna let your sister babysit you. Alright, now let's do it.
All right. Thank you. So, class, let us see if we can discuss some of the factors that we see. What are your observations? Huh? The kids look? All right. You want to explain to the class what a word means?
They look unkempt, dirty because you didn't.
All right. So she's saying that the kids look, from her observation, the kids look unkempt, they look dirty, so you can tell that times were hard. Anybody else? What are some of the things that ways by which the family know is trying to get out of this Great Depression? Not you, somebody else.
Put the kids to work.
They start putting the kids to work, yes ma'am?
Uncle Elroy decided to date his granddaughter, and she works in the textile industry, so that helped them a lot with trying to.
Excellent. So getting the kids involved, especially at that time, the textile industry was one of those booming industries, even though because of what was happening with the economy, the textile industry was also in trouble. Anybody else? Is there anything else the family decides to do? What about the mother? What role the mother plays?
She decided to go and clean, do domestic work, and so.
All right. So before the mother, parents are usually mothers tend to stay at home and take care of the children. Know that things have changed, time is hard. The mother now has to go out, and she probably more likely has to do a living job, you call it. Taking care of probably younger ones or doing a house cleaning, stuff like that. What about the smallest children?
They had to stay home since they were the youngest.
All right.
Older person.
But which will pose some issues because it means now that I think they pulled one child to look a bigger one. Who was it? They pulled a bigger one to look after the smaller one. So it means that that bigger one was pulled. Education would have been impacted too because you have to now stay home to look after the smaller one. Not just that your education is impacted, but in terms of safety. Because there ain't no adult at the house. What if something goes wrong? What if there's a fire? What if somebody comes in, an intruder or anything? There is no adult who would have been present at the house at the time. Everybody understand? So those are basically some of the ways by which the families were impacted. Hunter, your turn.
Also, we put everything together.
You did good though. You did a good job.
Family comes home from work and makes a discussion about the supervision.
Alright, how much money you made, alright? You want to put your girl?
Well, she's coming, she right down the road.
How much money she made?
Well, we made about $3.
$3? What was you doing?
You know my back and been,
So you just been sitting down?
yeah, my back.
See, Elroy, I done told you. I just told you. But, you know, me and my boys, we made about 15. You know, how much you made?
I made $9.
We're gonna go down here to the soup kitchen because I know all y'all hungry. I heard they got a decent meal for the day. Like, let's go.
Soup.
Come on, grandbaby.
Welcome to CJ's Soup Kitchen. We have bread, soup, and pickles. The cost for the adults is 25 cents, and the kids eat free.
Y'all, man, I'm about to eat this for real.
y'all grandpappy. If anyone want pickles, feel free to get them. What about grandpappy?
I'm hungry too now.
You can have it.
Last year, sure you did.
50 cents, 25 cents. Thank you. I don't want this.
It's the only thing we got.
It's wrong. 25 cents.
I'm a hurl. We gotta eat.
25 cents.
It's good like you look like yummy in my tongue.
Only thing we got.
Stop all that complaining, man.
Somebody spit my food.
Stop all that complaining, man. It's all you got.
No, I thought you needed this.
This food smells bad.
Need it, Dad.
It is good.
Well, it's the only thing we have for now, but we need to save some money.
And by doing that, we're gonna have to cut back on some stuff in this house. Like, such as buying too many shoes and clothes,
Using the light bill.
using up the water. Y'all know we got this little pipe that's in the basement and it drip water. So y'all gonna have to put a pan up under there. So if we do these things, we can have more money.
We can use wood and fire to warm up the house.
Yeah. We're gonna do that. So we can stop using up the light bill. And as well, y'all need, like, if we keep making money like this today, we can be able to buy groceries for our own self and not always go to the soup kitchen. So we're gonna stay on this grind and get this money. Times it's gonna go, it's gonna work. Like, yeah.
All right. So, all right. So, let us quickly look at how did the government at the time, and not just even before we go to look at what the government did, but what were some of the things that were put in place to help people to get out of this depression? We talk about soup kitchens. Anybody can tell me what soup kitchens were? Based on the role play? Oh, somebody said, I'm coming.
It's a kitchen that cooks soup or provided soup for the families that work unfortunately.
Alright. So even though it is dubbed the soup kitchen, it doesn't necessarily mean that soup was the only thing that they provided. But you're correct in terms of these are facilities that were put in place to help families who could not afford food like that. You made mention of the Salvation Army. You're getting closer. What are some of the other ways that we observe even today of the government or different organizations putting things in place to help families that are poor? Is there anything you see in your own environment today?
Red Cross, charity.
Red Cross, then? Good. Any other? Huh? Goodwill? Excellent. Any other?
Pantries.
Shelters?
Pantries.
You have pantries? Anybody else? Excellent. Food drives. Alright. Because I know that most times I get an alert on my phone that even like today, Friday, I can go by the church. That's the one in Hampton. And when you go, you drive by and they give you like a box with potatoes in it. You sometimes get a jug of milk in it. You get fruits in it. And several churches around and other organizations like the army, other organizations in Hampton give food. So they send the alert, and even in schools too. There are different programs in the schools and different nights you can always come in with your family and you get a box. And when I say good things, sometimes you get really, really good things in these boxes. Alright, so the soup kitchen was one. Not just soup kitchen, but you had bread knives. But apart from that, there are other things that the government did. I'm not talking about President Franklin Roosevelt. I'm talking about Hooverville, who most persons thought was not so much of a good president at the time. There were different things that he did. Anybody can tell me any of those things that was done? Y'all do? Hoover wagons, what were those? I'm coming. I'll come to you after. What were the Hoover wagons? Anybody want to help her? Because she's right. Go ahead.
So I think we need car breaks down because of our expenses.
Good. So because people could not afford gas to drive their cars, what they did was to get a wagon. You know what a wagon looks like? Those who watch them Western movies, and you see them the horse, and they have a little thing at the back with wheels on it. So what they do is to, I don't know if they tie the car to it, but the wagon is what the horse now is what helped to drive that car because they didn't have gas. Anything else? I'm coming. Not you. Somebody else? Help me. Somebody else?
Somebody over there.
Hoover blankets. What were those?
Newspapers people use on their clothes.
Alright, so these were newspapers that were used by persons who were cold, poor people who were cold. Now you see how fortunate you are that you have all these blankets. You have blankets now with even very names on them. You can get your own blankets customized and all that. And they have these blankets known as Hoover rags. Any other form?
Hoover leather.
Huh?
Hoover leather.
Hoover leather. What were those?
It's when the soles of the shoe is worn out.
So when the sole of the shoes got worn out, you are able to get cardboard and stuff in that shoes and you can go. Excellent. Hoovervilles. What were Hoovervilles?
Boxes that were
So it's cardboard that you used to make house. So can you imagine if the rain fall or the snow or anything happen, how much you are exposed to the elements of the time? So all these things were put in place. Excellent. Hoover? Very good. What were those?
If you were broke, it had the inside of the pocket. You had to be
So you turn your pocket out.
they'll know you broke.
And you walk. Oh, I ain't broke though. I promise you that I ain't broke. I ain't broke. So you can turn out your pockets. You turn your pockets out like this. And this is how you walk all day long. So everybody know that you don't have any coin. You are a broke person. So you see people walking around like this all day long. Right? But one thing that you observe, Trey and Zakari who are talking over there and Cody, is all these names are given, you realize they call it Hoover. It's from the president's name. For one, it was a form of mockery because people felt at the time that the president was not doing anything to help the country. So they dubbed these names for it. No, a new president took over. A new president took over. And we want to see now if this new president has brought anything different or is trying in any way to help the nation. Go ahead. You have to listen carefully to the programs so you're able to tell me myself. Jot down the different programs that you hear. Go ahead.
The president talks in a press conference about solutions to solve the Great Depression.
Listen, please.
Morning, America.
Everybody got to listen.
Most of you guys have lost your jobs, and so has the stock market. But I have come up with a plan. I call it a new deal. I'm going to create an agriculture adjustment administration to stabilize the farming industries, a civilian conservation group to provide jobs to unemployed young men while improving the environment. I am also going to add the Federal Emergency Relief Administration and the Work Progress Administration to provide jobs to all the unemployed Americans, and the National Recovery Administration to stabilize consumer goods. Just know that this is not just our problem, but also Europe's and other countries. And we will send this to them and fix them also. Thank you, America.
All right.
All right. I like Mr. President.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
like
Mr.
Mr.
President is
Mr.
Mr. President is confident.
Mr. President seems very confident.
Very confident.
No, what are some of the things that the president has pledged to do to help to get the country out? Now, you have patience. I want to hear from Trey. I want to hear from Zakari. I want to hear from Jesse. So, Trey, tell me one thing that the president pledged to do to help the country out of this state. Huh? He came up with a new deal. Thank you. Came up with a new deal. Anybody else? Yes. Agriculture program. Excellent, sir.
Start a program for all Americans to get jobs.
He says start a program that all Americans could get jobs. Excellent. Because you have to when you identify the problem, you have to come up with a way of solving that specific problem, right? Anybody else? Yes.
He says he's gonna help with farming.
Help with farming. Anybody else? Anything else?
Emergency relief program.
The emergency relief program. Good. There are a few that I haven't heard, but I know Mr. President is still pressing for time. I think he wants to take it in phases. So he wants to look at the immediate solutions, but there are other solutions. When everybody have a social security number, you all do, right? Because I'm an immigrant, but I have a social security number too. Right? You ever wonder where this came from? It came from right at this.
Yeah, this
Put your hands
government.
together for your president.
Yeah.
So that was one plan or program that our president came up with as social security. Anybody know the purpose though of a social security? I wonder who knows. Yes.
So Americans can get their checks.
Americans can get their checks. You know that these boys are he onto something. Good, because it has to do with that check. Good. I'm coming. Alright, so he's talking about everybody keeping their identity separate. I like that too. I like that.
It helps
Getting closer.
with disability. Like,
It helps people also with disability. Very good. We
I
get in
like what
there.
I've seen, guys. Great job.
We get in there. Anybody else?
It helps the government identify individuals
Yes, he said that.
for financial reasons.
For financial
And
reasons.
business.
Very good. So, like I'm working now, and all you soon start working, right? You know that after you start working, they start pulling, you know. So when you retire, I know that's why your parents and grandparents who retire, they are now benefiting from their social security. And usually, I think it's at the age of about 65, you're able to start gaining from your social security. That's how important it is. But then, because banks were failing, Mr. President, did you have any program in place of banks? Hold on, let me see what the president have for banks. The FDIC. And you ever been to the bank and see that little sign? Yes. Because I've been to the bank and I see it. When I go to Choice Bank, I see that sign here. The FDIC. What this bank does, it is what really insures or protects the bank. So, before the Great Depression, what was happening is that here there's people, banks were closed and people were losing their money. Can you imagine putting your money in a bank and at the end of putting your money in a bank, the bank was closed and you don't get back a dollar? Can you imagine that? No. Because that happened, when the government stepped in, that's one of the problems that they try to solve. Right? Where they decide now that they're going to insure your money. So if the bank closes tomorrow, if there's a fire, if there's a theft, like they just come and they just rob that bank, you don't have to worry because your money is insured and you are able to get back some money. Everybody's clear? Did we all learn from today's experience? Alright, so your final piece now is I'm going to be asking you all to go ahead and write a summary, not long, just a short summary of what you have learned today about the Great Depression, what it was and how people were impacted. And you can go further to see in just a sentence or two what the government tried to do to solve the problem of the Great Depression. Make sense? Good.
Somebody got your